Hello, I'm Manjita. You're aware of that. Well, for others who've logged in for the first time to my channel, I help you understand English a bit better and make it easy and fun, especially for IELTS or any other competitive exam you're sitting for, especially in the English section. And for all the other subscribers, you are my darling and you follow me and you love my videos and you give me awesome suggestions. And out of those, one suggestion was that why don't I do a video on the reading section in IELTS? And here I am to give you very simple, quick and easy tips and tricks which will help you to succeed in your reading exam in the IELTS portion and help you definitely get higher bands, 7 and above for sure. And if you work really hard, then 8 and 9 is also not that difficult. Well, quickly we'll jump onto the special tip and trick which helped me. I personally use this and I would highly recommend you to do it. But at the moment, I would just want to also highlight that. Everybody has its own style, everybody has its own pace, but do try this. If you find this easy, then nothing like it. The first one is whenever the passage or the reading comprehension comes in IELTS, there'll be a set of questions given to you, apparently 4 to 5, which is given. Something which creates pressure and makes it little more problematic is the time ticking. So there's a clock which will be on top and or the timer will be set and you would have the timer would go backwards and there's a time ticking. So this would add pressure to you. So try practicing it in a time ticking zone, set an alarm or set something and solve the mock papers or the mock questions of IELTS. It will help you to understand what it is to handle the pressure. Secondly, don't get nervous because the time given has been a tested time frame. No one gives you lesser time for more questions. All right, so that time is sufficient and ample for any person who's been practicing reading to do really well. All right, at the same time, I will be honest that I get nervous whenever a time or a clock is there on my screen, though I do it faster than the time provided. But if I get nervous, what I do is I take 2 seconds at the start of the passage, take a deep breath, and calm myself down, focus, and then start. So there'll be 4 to 5 questions given. My suggestion, or this is what I did, is quickly read the questions, those 5 questions. You don't have to memorize it or read every word of it, but just this is what it is asking for. So just read the questions so that you understand that this is where your focus needs to be and then jump into the passage. That's the first point which I gave, that read the questions first. The second is a very, very famous technique. It's called skimming. And the third we talk about is scanning. So skim and scan are popular techniques of increasing your reading speed. Now what's skimming? We all know in normal English terms, skimming means cutting it out, right? For example, skim milk cuts out the fat, right? So similarly, you cut out everything from the passage which is not relevant at that point in time because you want to figure out the gist of it quickly, right? So you will quickly skim the passage, skim the para. Skimming is fast reading. You will not read every word of it. For example, the para talks about like, oh, it's a lovely day and the sun came out after a long wintry day and everybody was waiting for it. In fact, no one expected that the sun would be out today, and this came as a pleasant surprise to all the people of that particular place. All right, now if this is the passage or this is the para given, I will not waste time in reading each and every letter of it. That, like the way I started it, oh, it is a wonderful day, the sun came out, like I'm wasting a lot of time in it. What I can do is I can quickly skim. Wonderful day, sun, cold weather, people surprised, So these 4 5 words, if I have skimmed and got the gist of it, I understand that okay, this para talks about a wonderful weather, people are surprised, and the sun has come out. So this is the gist of it, right? That's called skimming. I did not waste my time in reading each letter, but I quickly glanced through it, I quickly skimmed through it, picked up important words from there, and then I could get a gist of it. That's called skimming the passage. All right. The second is scanning the passage. Well, in my video, this is the third point for you. This is scanning the passage. Now, what is scanning? Scanning is figuring out what you're actually looking at. All right. So for scan, I know what I'm looking at. For example, the question has a particular word in it. Let's say in the same passage, the question is, why were the people surprised? All right. So the word here is surprise. So I have to figure out where does the word surprise come so that I can find the answer in that passage. So here I know I am scanning just to find the letter or the word which has been asked for. Over here, the word asked for is surprise. So I'm scanning to figure out the word surprised. Just that word, right? And then I will quickly, so I got this word in, let's say, in the first or second or third para, and I'll quickly skim through to figure out what does this para talk about. Or if I have time, I will read it in detail, that particular para, and find the answer to my question. So is it clear? The first point was read the question so that you know what you're looking at into the passage and you don't waste time reading everything, which is irrelevant. Second, skim. Skimming is just to go on the overview of the passage. For example, in each para, the first two lines only, if you just go through them, you will figure out or you will understand what the gist of the para is going to be, right? If not, you can quickly go through it and pick up important words so that you can sum those words and you can form a meaning out of it, right? The third one which I spoke about is scanning to find that particular letter or the particular word or the particular item, the article, the place, the person, whatever the question is asking for, right? So we scan it. Now, does skimming come first or scanning come first? I think do whatever is comfortable for you, because people will say that skim first and then scan. I personally like scanning the word and then skimming it to figure out what the gist is, right? So it all depends what is comfortable for you. How are you comfortable doing it? So practice this, guys. For reading, practice is a must. Practice it under the time zone. Set up an alarm. Practice in a pressurized time zone like the alarm clock time zone, and practice it at peace. Sit with yourself, and practice is the only mantra. Trust me, if you do these three things which I have told you, it will help you a lot. Subscribe. You know what to do next. Share with people who need it the most. And do comment and let me know if you tried this and it worked for you or not. And what else would you like me to make a video on? All the best. IELTS is pretty simple. You will rock it. Bye. Have a great day ahead.